Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Lorie. This is the first of many videos I'll be doing. You can find me at lorieoflemuria.com, LorieofLemuria.com. And then I'm on Instagram at Lorie of Lemuria. And I think there's places on my YouTube channel where you can find that as well. So for my first video, I wanted to introduce myself and I wanted to introduce my awakening process and how I got to where I am right now. So I was 13 when I first remember waking up and realizing that I was here for a very specific reason. I knew that I had volunteered to come down here on this planet for this lifetime to wake up humanity and to help shift humanity into the next level of consciousness. When I was 13, I lived with my mom and she was really awake. And so she would take me to a lot of different seminars and retreats, very new agey stuff. She introduced me to all of these different books. I was reading book after book after book at 13, really waking up and understanding what's going on, that what we thought is not real, that who we are is not who we thought we were. And I started taking the blinders off of me and seeing what was really going on, and that I was going to be assisting the Ascension process. Now, back then in 1988, 89, we thought the Ascension process was the Earth sort of shifting into the fifth dimension, and everybody on the planet was going to either die or shift, ascend off the planet into another world, Earth, another plane. They were going to shift, but they were not going to be on the planet anymore. That's not the case. Now we understand more deeply that the ascension process is actually happening on the planet. The planet has already ascended into the fifth dimension, and so now we as humans are shifting into the fifth dimension while staying on the planet while being in our bodies. So we're not going anywhere. Although I think there's probably a lot of people that wish they were going somewhere. We are not. So anyways, 13 years old, going to all these different retreats, learning all this information, and still being a teenager. And nobody in my world for 20 years, over 20 years, I had nobody in my life except for my mom and my mom's friends to discuss what this was all about, who I was, that I was here to wake up humanity, that I was a light worker. Light worker was not, that word was not around back then. I mean, if you were in the circle of a small group of people that were waking up, you knew what a light worker was, but it's not like it is now. So for me to go around and tell my friends, hey, I'm a light worker, I'm going to be waking up the world, they thought I was crazy, that I was cuckoo. I mean, they loved me and they thought I was funny, but they thought it was a joke. I mean, I remember being at parties and telling my girlfriends, they would all sit around in a circle and I'd be like, okay, we're going to tell stories about the ETs and the beings that live on different star systems. And they would love it because they thought it was a fun fictional story and it was always so detailed and they felt like they were there with these people. And so I would tell these amazing, fun stories and they thought it was fake. And I'm like, no, this is real. This is what I've seen. This is what I've experienced. This is what I know. And they laughed it off and they thought I was crazy. But anyways, I would say for about 5 years, 13 to 18, it was really difficult. It was really, I mean, the last 25 years has been difficult, but the first 5 years was really challenging. I was really depressed. I started drinking at 12 years old. I was doing drugs throughout those 5 years. And I remember feeling like I was trapped in my body and that I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to be who I really was in a world that wasn't really accepting of it. It was challenging. And I remember sitting outside at the park one night, I was 17, and I looked up at the stars and I remember thinking to myself, I said out loud, looking up at the star systems, I said, I want to go home. I said, I'm done. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go home. And I didn't know really what that meant. I knew what it felt like. I knew I'd been feeling that way for a while. And I was looking at the Pleiadian system. and that's the seven sisters up in the sky, and it's a star family, and I'm very close with them. And I remember thinking, please take me, please, please, please take me home. What do I need to do? I don't want to be here. And to have the awareness that I wasn't home on earth, that there was another home for me, was big, because I've always known that, but to be able to just look out, acknowledge it and say it out loud, and to be okay with just feeling that was a big step for me, and to know that it's okay. I don't want to be here. I want to go. And I felt that like that going forward for many, many years. Going into my college years, I remember sitting in the library, looking out at everyone and watching them all doing their thing and thinking, I don't belong here. I felt like an alien. I felt like I was watching somebody else's life. I felt like I was watching this world happen, and I wasn't participating in it. I was watching it like a movie, and I was an alien, a being that didn't belong. And I was like, what am I doing here? This is not my world. And so there were moments throughout the last 30 years of my life where I had those clicks of like, oh yeah, I'm here as a volunteer. Oh yeah, I am not my body. Oh yeah, I'm here for a very specific reason. Oh yeah, I volunteered. I volunteered to come here at this time to assist and wake up humanity. That's what I'm doing. That's why I'm here. And so these shifts and these aha moments of like, it's okay. It's okay that you don't feel like you belong. It's okay that you don't feel like you fit in. It's okay that you don't believe what everyone else believes. It's okay that people think you're crazy, because that's why you're here. Bring it on. Bring on more crazy, because that's why you're here. So I remember in 1995, I went to my first Ascension Retreat, and it was in Mount Shasta at Stuart Mineral Springs. It was 5 days long. And it was then that I was introduced to the fifth dimensional inner city inside Mount Shasta, city of light, called Telos. I had never heard of Telos. I had never heard that there was an inner city inside Mount Shasta. But I remember going in through meditation, and I was at home. I met my guide, Adama, who I work with daily. I met Katumi, who is an Ascended Master who I'd never heard of before. I worked with tons of Ascended Masters since I was 13. I knew every single Ascended Master that could be, and I had never met Katumi. So I met him inside Telos. I met all the other fifth dimensional beings that lived inside Telos, and I felt so at home and so at peace, I didn't want to leave. I remember driving away from that retreat and having to go back into my life and go back to college and go back to studying and go back to my friends. And I remember thinking, I don't want to go. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. This is my home. This is where I feel like home. And now that I know, 20 years later, what I'm doing with my purpose and my life, it makes perfect sense. That was home for me. That is home for me. But at that point, I didn't know. I just knew that I was introduced to the most amazing experience of my life, and I didn't want to leave. So that was in 1995. And then basically from that point forward, I was, for the most part, asleep. For me, it was really challenging to stay awake and participate in my life. It was much easier for me to go back to sleep, meaning put the blinders on, pretend that I'm not here for a specific mission, pretend that I am not a divine being of light here to wake up humanity, and just act like I'm a very dense third dimensional body walking around and doing what the rest of the world is doing. So I did that 20 years back and forth. I mean, there were definitely moments where I would communicate with my mom and talk on the phone and reconnect with what I knew and reconnect with my spirit and my source and my purpose, and that part of me never left. The part of me that at 13 knew I was here to wake up humanity, and the part of me that sits here right now knowing who I am and what I'm here to do never left me. It was always inside of me. But it was a matter of survival. And when I went out and tried to communicate and tried to talk to people about what I thought and what I believed and what I knew, I got ridiculed. I got looked at with weird faces. I got told I was crazy. I learned to just It was more easier for me to just zip it up, not say anything, and just move on with my life knowing what I know. I did know without a doubt in my mind that I was going to wake up for the last time at some point. I didn't know when it was going to be, but I knew that the next time I woke up, it was going to be the last time. I just was hoping it was going to be sooner than later. So that was 20 years ago for my first Ascension Retreat. And I think in 2013, I met my twin flame. And that was the beginning of the last awakening process. I met my twin flame. I had no idea what a twin flame was. I knew about a twin flame. I had no idea really what it was. Never in my mind thought I was a twin flame, wanted to be one. Back in 2013, 3 years ago, nothing was hardly out about twin flames. There was Lindy Cowling, and there was a couple other people out there speaking about twin flames, but I had no idea. And when Joe, my spiritual partner, and I realized it, we were sitting there one night watching this video on the stages of twin flames, and I literally left my body. I was jolted so wide awake, and I was shifted into such a space of light that I had to jump off the couch, jump onto the ground, and hold the ground tight because I was so out of my body. I heard the words for the last time. I heard the words of, you are here for a mission. You are here for a purpose. You are here to do something so divine and so big. You chose to came down here. You chose to meet with your twin flame. You both came down here together to do this very purpose-driven work. And when I heard those words for the last time by somebody else that I didn't know, I woke up. I knew. I was crying. I felt like it was an acknowledgement of yes, 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 yes. It was true. It was true. Everything I knew, everything I've gone through for the last 30 years, it was true. I didn't know I was going to meet my twin flame, but it doesn't matter. I met my twin flame, and for the next 2 years, we merged, and we joined into union, and we went through all this stuff, and I slowly started waking up. And it was September 27th, 2015. I was going into work in San Francisco, and I heard Kaya Ra. She popped up on my Facebook. I don't even know how. I'm not friends with her. She just popped up. And she was doing an Ascension immersion for the day on Saturday. This was maybe Tuesday. So I signed up. I knew I had to go. And I knew that this was going to be the last time for me to wake up. This was it. This was it. This was the turning point. I was done. I wanted to walk fully and completely into my purpose. I was done walking that balance rope, walking that tightened line between my truth and my divine purpose and what I'm here to do, and going with the way the rest of the world was. I was done. I wanted full force, 100% in with my mission. So I signed up for this course. I told Joe about it. I told him he had to come. And my beautiful, amazing sister of all beautifulness, Kyla, she had to come. We were driving up there on Friday night, and they're talking and doing their thing, and I'm sitting there knowing, I know within my being this is it. I know that where I'm going tomorrow morning, I am never going to be the same. I am done. I am walking fully into my purpose and my mission. And I turned to them and I said, you guys, they had no idea what they were doing. They thought they were going up to Mount Shasta to just have some fun, do a little hike. They had no idea. They really hardly even knew what Ascension was, honest to God. So I said, you guys, I just want to let you know that you are not going to be the same as you were after the immersion tomorrow. You are not going to be the same person. Your entire life is going to change. I know you have no idea what that means, but I want you to know that every single thing in your life is about to change. And that was September 27th, 2015, and our lives have never been the same since. I am doing my work. I am doing my purpose-driven, divine purpose work right now. I am doing what I knew I was going to do when I was 13. I am living in my heart and in my soul. I am living my truth, and I'm speaking my truth. And Joe and Kyla are doing their thing, and they're moving up into this process as well, and they're waking up and they're shifting and they're doing their work. Um, and I've quit my corporate job, and I am immersed 100% in my work, working with clients, doing retreats, setting up seminars, and just sharing. I'm just serving the world. I'm serving the world the way I told myself I was going to when I came down here. My spirit came down here for one reason, and that was to serve humanity, to shift humanity into the fifth dimension. So what I do now is I work with my main guide, Adama, who's the priest in Telos, and I assist people in shifting into the fifth dimension. And I introduce people to Telos, and I introduce them to these fifth dimensional beings, and that's my purpose. That is why I'm here. I'm here to show all of you that where we are going, people are already living. I'm here to share with you that where we are going is not that far. I'm here to share with you that there are people living right now, just like us, in the fifth dimension, in these inner cities all over the world. And so it's not such a big leap to go from the third to the fifth dimension. It's not such a big leap to ascend. Ascension is very difficult, yes. It's a slow process. It's treacherous. It's painful. It's depressing. It's energizing. It's amazing. It's awesome. It's light. It's love. It's joy. It's all of that combined. And there are people here to show us how to do it. There are people here to show us, hey, I've done it. I'm here to show you how to do it. And that's my mission. And that's what I'm here to do. And so every video going forward, I commit and serve you. And serve to you the messages that I'm receiving so that you can hear them. So that everything that I am getting from Adama and everything that I am getting from those fifth dimensional beings, you get to hear. So that it resonates within you. So that you remember who you are. So that you feel within your being, yes, I'm here for something big. Yes, I'm here to wake up. Yes, I have a specific purpose and a specific mission. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer or a doctor or a stockbroker or a dog walker, homeless. You all have a specific mission. You all have a specific purpose. And we're waking up. And I'm here to help. And so are a ton of other people. And it's an amazing time. And I'm honored to be able to be doing this. I'm honored to be able to be doing this YouTube video right now. I'm honored that you're listening to my video. I'm grateful that I woke up for the last time. And I just look forward to sharing all of the messages that I receive with you guys going forward. So thank you so much for listening to my first video. And come back and listen to more. Subscribe to my channel. There's going to be so many more stories and information coming to all of you. So I look forward to interacting and engaging with you all. Check out my website, check out my Instagram, and I love and honor each and every one of you. Namaste.